Okay, let's pick these rhythms apart a little bit. So we start with a single eighth note pickup, right? So let's just kind of leave that off for the moment. This is, remember in the very first class we looked at pickup notes. They're kind of like you can think of it as like a breath, like almost like a note that starts before the song actually starts. So that can kind of happen out of time for us, and we're not going to worry about that for now. So let's just look at this first line. And let's separate the left hand and the right hand, and let's look at the left hand first. That's the bottom staff here, because it's a lot easier to see. So we're in 6/8, so we expect to see either 6/8 notes per bar or two groups of eighth notes that equal up 3. Actually, we expect to see both of those things. And we see that very clearly down here. So 6/8 notes in two groups, right? So even if you couldn't see this, if this was totally gone and you didn't know what meter we were in, if you saw this, you should very easily be able to say, we are in 6/8, right? Because that's just the way that goes. That is 6/8 right there. If someone came up to me on the street and said, draw me a picture of 6/8, and it was totally out of context, I draw basically exactly this, right? So that is 6/8. Same thing here, same thing here. Now we go here, we only have half a bar, but we are filled with rests, and that's okay. So here's our first group of 3, that's fine. A quarter note rest equals 2/8 notes, and then an eighth note rest equals 1/8 note. Now one thing we could also do here, I'm going to delete that and put a dot on that rest. You can put a dot on a rest. Don't forget about that. So you also see these quite a bit. This is a dotted quarter note rest. That equals 3/8 notes of rests, right? So that works totally fine. Now let's go up here. So first, let me just draw a box here around our bigger divisions of the beat. Okay, so because in this case, they're not extremely clear because only on the second half of the beat, like this one, do we have, or second half of the measure, I should say, are they bracketed together with a rhythmic brace, right? This first half, they're not. Okay, so let's look at the first half of this bar. 3/8 notes, right? This totally works. It's not right away extremely obvious, but a quarter note gets 2/8 notes, and then we have one more eighth note. So if we want to count this in 6, so remember, counting is just a way that we can basically kind of sing the rhythm. So down here we would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up here we would count 1, 3, 4, up to here. So this gets 2/8 notes, and then 3, 4. So let's look at this rhythm now. So this rhythm, if we divide our eighth notes down into 16th notes, we would have 6 16th notes for one of these. And that's okay. We can do that, right? Because remember, just because we have everything is kind of laid out in these groups of 3/8 notes doesn't mean we still can't play with that rhythm, right? We still have to do something rhythmically interesting with it.